Hello and welcome to Laurindalandia. Today I'm going to do a reading about how do your coworkers view you. You can choose your pile by following your intuition. It can be the pile that you're the most visually attracted to, or you can even ask in your mind, what is a pile for me? I do personal readings, they are super affordable, and they're my first link in description. Hello, Pawana. So I chose this card to say, set yourself free from dogmas. How your coworkers view you is of someone that is very independent and knows what they are doing. You're probably someone that you do your job according to what you feel is more efficient. You probably are someone that innovates tasks, procedures, ways of work. You come to a workplace and you really improve it. You improve the quality, you improve the efficiency, you impact your workplace in a very positive way, in a way that you make things better. You work smarter, not harder. And there is a vibe about you that this is like someone teaches you how to do like a task a certain way, and you innovate and you do it a different way, and it's a way that is more efficient and that brings higher quality. This is how they view you, as someone that is like you defy authority, not in the sense of you're not trying to put other people down or nothing like that. Like, it's not that. But you kind of like defy authority because you cut through the BS and you make things easier and simpler. And basically, if you feel like there is a better way of doing something, you do it, even if that's not the way that you were taught. This is how your coworkers view you, as someone that is not afraid of authority, is not afraid of being dependent and maybe doing things a different way than other people if it means to do a better job, a more efficient job, and an easier job. Some of you here might be fire signs, but we still see you as really confident as well. I think your coworkers see you as someone very confident because these coworkers are just following what people tell them to do, and you take risks and you do it in a different way, and it works. It makes it easier. Like, I'm seeing here the labyrinth as all the company politics, you feel me, as all like the BS of the complicated things that you quote unquote need to do to achieve a goal, and you cut through all of that. You say, no, okay, this is our goal. Our goal is a certain performance, or our goal is a certain number, a certain statistic. You are telling me a way of doing this that is super complicated with many several steps, when I can take out some steps by doing things a different way, and it works. It makes it better. You have more time, more energy, because basically you make complicated things easier. You take things that are complicated in the sense there might be several steps, there might be like a long process, something that you have to make several steps to be able to achieve, and you basically cut down those steps by thinking in a resourceful, creative way. Yeah, your coworkers view you as someone very resourceful, extremely creative. Like, you provide here really creative solutions to a lot of problems. They also feel like with you there are no problems, because even when you're faced with a problem, you're very good at coming up with creative ideas to fix it, ideas that people have never thought before, ideas that, yeah, like out of the box thinking. You for sure have out of the box thinking, and this is how your coworkers view you, as someone that thinks outside the box, and he thinks in a very innovative and creative way. How do your coworkers view you? Number one. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Yes. Yeah, it's like, imagine you are a great worker. You do things in a very efficient way. You improve the quality of any service or product that you work towards. Like, your job is impeccable. But imagine you are the type of person that you create new ways of doing things, you work hard, you make things better, but you are not trying to control others. Like you are someone, for example, someone gives you a task, and this task is very complicated and it has many steps, and you find a creative way of doing this task, like that is quicker, simpler, and it creates more quality at the end, in the end goal, right? You are not the type of person, for example, now that you find a better way of doing something, you're not going to try to impose your way of doing things onto others. Like, you're not a micromanager, you're not controlling, you're not controlling. Like, your coworkers view you as someone that has all the reasons to be controlling because your work is excellent. The way that you do things is extremely innovative, creative, efficient. Like, your work is really good. So, like, they feel like a person like you should be in a position of power, and they will assume that you will be a micromanager, basically, that you control people, but you really don't. Like, I think simply, like, I think you lead by inspiration, not control. I think people feel inspired by you, and even if you're not in a leadership position, just your coworkers around you, they feel inspired by the way that you do things. And like, you don't try to impose your way of doing things onto others. People come to you and ask you, hey, how are you doing this? Like, how do you do this task? How do you make this procedure? Like, I really like the way that you do things. Can you teach me? Like, other people start doing things like you, not because you're trying to force them to do things your way, but because they feel inspired by your work and they see that it reaps results, and they see that you're having an easier time, a quicker time at doing something, and yes, quality at the end of the line. Like, you provide a product or quality service depending on what you work on, and people feel inspired by this. And yeah, like, I don't think you don't, for example, you don't go to a company thriving to be in a leadership position just to boss people around. I think leadership positions kind of fall into your lap even if you don't have the title. I think your coworkers view you as a leader, as someone to look for guidance towards, help, as someone to look on how to do things in a proper, efficient, and easy way. So you become a leader of the people, I'm hearing. You're not someone that's trying to impose your leadership. You become a leader of the people because people trust you. And your coworkers really trust you and want to learn from you and do things your way because they know they've seen that your way is the better way. Even sometimes, imagine where I'm getting here also, going back to the thing of defying authority, you are not trying to overtly defy authority. That's not what you're trying to do, but because you are so good at what you do, like, and you do things in different way than maybe like a boss or a manager tells you to do, you defy authority without defying authority on purpose. Like, because at the end of the day, you are better than probably your bosses and your manager. Like, your work is better. Also, like, you have a good personality here of not being like ego driven, like minding your business, not trying to control anybody. Like, you have a good personality. You do a better work than the higher ups. You know more than the higher ups. So really, you can be a strong competition. To the figures of authority in your workplace. This is can be how your coworkers view you as someone that one day has a lot of potential to go in the ranks of the workplace. Yes, exactly. Imagine your coworkers view you as someone that makes important choices at your workplace. Of someone, again, they view you as someone of power, even though some of you here do not have a position of power. Even if some of you guys are at the bottom, like in terms of hierarchical pyramid of the company, like you're an employee or you started like a few months ago, like basically you don't have a title of someone of power, you are someone of power. Like, this is how your coworkers view you, of someone that makes valuable decisions at work. And I think these decisions is really how to do things, how to execute things, and you create new processes, you make life easier for everyone, you are very innovative, very creative. So you are someone that like actively shapes the workplace, like, and even like the policies. Like, you are someone that, again, some of you here are figures of authority in your company, but other people don't are not. But even if you are not, you affect policy in the sense of you create new ways of doing things that then later become policy, because the way that you are doing something is really good. You actively shape the company even without the title of authority, because your authority is within you. Also, like, again, you don't make choices. The choices that you make is not power hungry. You are not making choices to, for example, you're not making choices to please the higher ups just to go up in the company ranks. No, you are making choices to make your life easier, make your work more efficient, make your work better. Like, you're not making choices to please other people just to go up in the corporate ladder. You are making choices and making decisions just to make a better job and a more efficient job and an easier job for you and everyone around you. Like, because sometimes some people have this mentality that being successful in the job is like to kiss up to the higher ups and be there like almost teacher pets, like the work doesn't matter, all that matters is the higher ups. Like, you're not that person. Of course you're not trying to be disliked, of course it's not that, but your decisions are mainly focused on how you can make your work easier and your life easier and make a better job, like a quality job, and you are not focused in pleasing the higher ups just to go on the corporate ladder. Again, you're not power hungry. This is how your coworkers view you, as someone that is really good at what they do, and they are not power hungry. They are not trying to be in this position of power just to, like, control people or micromanage people, because there are so many people in position of power that are there and want to be there just because it feeds their ego, like maybe controlling people or putting other people down, like, feeds their ego, and you are not that. Your coworkers view you as someone that is not egotistical, very humble, very, like, mature emotionally. You are not drunk on power. And I think this aspect of you not being drunk on power or not necessarily thriving for a position of authority, like, your coworkers really trust you. I think this is a part of why you're such a good leader, because your coworkers really trust your decisions, because they know you are making the best decision for you and for them as well. You have a lot of power within your coworkers. They really admire you and aspire to be you. And I think a lot of your coworkers also hope that one day you are their manager, because they think that you'll be great, and again, a super, like, humble person, not egotistical, not power hungry. Yeah, very confident. The confidence is really coming through. There's something about you that is very confident. Also, you are very attractive. um some of you work like in the business, um like in the more of a business field. Like, I'm seeing corporate body. Some of you that need to go, like, to office and wear all of those corporate clothes, you feel me? You might, like, be really fashionable with it. People really like the way that you dress. Especially, I'm really getting corporate body, like going to a corporate job with a, like, outfit that is like fashion and unique. Also, there's something about you that is super like your beauty, the way that you dress and your fashion. You are not following the trends per se, but you are super beautiful. Like you are creating your own trends. Again, you are not the follower, you are a leader. And this shows even in your clothes choice, like in your fashion, like in your beauty. It shows that you're not hopping on every fashion trend, for example, but like you have your own style that is like super you and super unique and is super beautiful. Your coworkers find you very attractive. They are probably here for some of you guys. You probably have coworkers that kind of have a crush on you. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this reading, give a like. And if you like this content, subscribe. I do personal readings. They're super affordable and they're my first link in the description. Bye bye one. Hello pile two. So it shows this card that says never give up and it came in reverse. How your coworkers view you is of someone that will not take BS. You will not take any unnecessary problems, unnecessary issues. Like you also are not afraid to leave this workplace if you have to. You are someone with a lot of options. It's how your coworkers view you, and they honestly, some of them are a bit jealous of this. They view you as someone that is super smart, great at your job, and you have options. You don't need to stay in an underpaid, exploitative place. You don't need to stay in a place that is not good or healthy for you. You have options in terms of work. This is how your coworkers view you, and you're not afraid to leave. You're not afraid to say bye bye. If they don't treat you right, if you think you're not being treated the way that you deserve, they really view you as someone that is not afraid to leave. You might have left like a job recently, or they know that you have done this in the past. You might be someone here that maybe has left jobs because maybe you're being underpaid, mistreated, maybe like your coworkers or the managers or whomever was creating more issues than necessary and you just left because you know your worth and you are like, I'm not gonna handle with like unnecessary issues. That's the thing. I think you are great at your job. I think you are a great worker, you are a hard worker, but you are like, I'm not going to deal, for example, with office politics. I'm not going to deal with gossip. I'm not going to deal with all like this immature side of a workplace. You feel me? This is like, you're not going to deal like with a mean girl. I like your job. You feel me? Like that's the type of vibe. Like you're not going to deal with like a micromanager or like an egotistical person or boss. You're not afraid to leave. And I think maybe you have left like other workplaces before because of like these petty issues. You feel me? Of like having to deal with things that were so unnecessary and so immature and so infantile. And you have done this, and I think your coworkers might know or at least feel that you're not afraid to leave because you have options, you have where to go if you need to go. Also, like you're not someone like, I think your coworkers view you as someone that is not afraid to start from scratch, start from the beginning, learn something new, start over. Like it's hard to keep you. That's what I'm hearing. It's hard to keep you. It's easier for you to leave than for you to stay. Um, there is here, some of you might like have like avoidant attachment. Some of you here might like, your coworkers view you as someone that is a hard worker, is nice, is mature, but you're not emotionally attached to the workplace. Like your coworkers view you like you couldn't care less. You're not mean, you are nice. Like you are nice, you are professional, you come to work, you do a great job, but you're not attached to your job. Also, I think how your coworkers view you is of someone that is not attached to their work title. I think you have a very healthy relationship with work. I think you are super mature in this perspective because, like, in today's world, like, being an adult is basically majority of your identity is tied to your job. Like, I think our identity becomes so intertwined with what we do. It's like when we meet someone for the first time, it's like, what do you do for work? And that defines us so much. Like, the way that we interact today in, like, interpersonal dynamics, like how we define ourselves, how we see ourselves, a lot of times is through our job title. And I don't think you are that type of person. I think your job title, of course, is a part of you and is a part to a certain degree of your identity. But your job title and what you do for work does not encompass fully your identity. I think you have a super healthy relationship with your ego, with status, with, yeah, like what socially we consider valuable or not. I think also you are someone, you are wise, pal number two. You are very wise. Like, this is giving a very wise perspective about life, but almost a different perspective. You are even philosopher. I think your coworkers, like for some of you, they might see you as like a philosopher, or even some of you, not many, might have studied philosophy or really like philosophy. Like your coworkers see you as a very wise person that has a very different way of seeing the world and viewing the world, but very wise. That's the thing. Again, I think your coworkers are very like, um really resonating with capitalism and with all like the webs of capitalism, right? Because I think in capitalism, our value becomes our work. Who we are valuable as a person is about what we can produce and what we do for work and how much we work, right? And I think you have such a different perspective about it. I think you have such a healthy dynamic with how you see work and productivity. Like, you are not your job, you are not your work. You are so much more than like a cog in the machine of capitalism. You feel me? You are so much more than just a number. Like, your value as a person has nothing to do with your job title. And I think this is how your coworkers view you, as someone that is a very healthy ego and that is not concerned or tied to values that most people are. I think a lot of people use these values of, you are your job and your worth is one of what you produce, to manipulate people, maybe to keep people in unhealthy environments, to exploit people, and people cannot do that to you. Yeah, your coworkers view you as someone that cannot be manipulated, because what you value as a person is way like more deeper, profound, and wiser than the surface level capitalism that most people live by, which is normal, right? Because at the end of the day, like, we were super educated. Like, I'm getting a lot of like philosophy about productivity and capitalism and a discussion about capitalism. Some of you might have like had like a conversation with someone at your job, or like a discussion about capitalism. Like, I'm getting that a lot. At the end of like the day, right, we are born, we have a child, we around 6, we start an education. The education is meant to prepare us for work, and we study for many years, and then we get a job, and we have a job for like many years. Like, some of us are lucky to have retirement, but like, we are taught as a society that our function is to work. Our meaning, our purpose as human beings on this earth is to work. That's all we are taught to, right? So it can be really easy to define ourselves through work and productivity, to find meaning, purpose, and identity uh, in productivity. Is like, most people, for example, if someone is really proud of their work, let's say they're an engineer, like you meet someone and they're an engineer and they find a lot of identity in their work, right? They talk about a lot about being an engineer, that they are an engineer. Like, imagine you meet John. John is not John. John is an engineer. You feel me? John, like, doesn't identify himself through who he is as a person, through who he values, his belief systems, like his passions, what his views about the world. No, he defines himself by being an engineer. And you don't define yourself by being a function in capitalism. You define yourself because of who you are, because of your values, who you are as a person, your morals, your integrity. You are detached from this concept of finding identity in your job title, basically. And this is super wise. I think your coworkers, imagine, your coworkers at first, when they understand this about you, that you are detached from this concept of identity and worth coming slowly from like capitalism and productivity and the job, right? I think at the beginning they're like confused. Like I think probably at the beginning your coworkers like they felt like a bit of an headache about you because they cannot understand that point of view that you're not your job, you feel me, and your job is just what you do to make money. At the end of the day, your identity is so much more than that. Your identity is you. Like, it's really dehumanizing to see our identity fully through what we do for work, right? But it's like, this is such a foreign concept, such a deep concept and wise concept. Some of you might be Aquarius here. Um, But your coworkers, at the beginning, they have like a hard time wrapping their head around it. But the more they get to know you, the more they understand. And they are very, you like a feeling of depth. Like the more they understand your mindset, your mentality, they're like, whoa, I never met anybody like you. I never met anybody that thinks like you. And you really made them think. Yeah, I think your coworkers, you make them think a lot. You show them a different perspective about life and the perspective, and you really open their eyes and minds to understanding their relationship with, yeah, capitalism, with productivity, with work. You are really eye-opening to a lot of people because you have a completely different way of seeing the world. How do your coworkers view you? By number two, the young man. Of course, of course, of course. About perspective. Everything's about perspective. Yeah, there's something about your perspective that is very impactful and very life changing. Your perspective is really, really, really life changing. Okay. How your coworkers view you is that you are someone also that is willing to make sacrifices. Again, if your workplace is not healthy for you, if you feel like you're being manipulated or having to deal with issues that are unnecessary, immature, and infantile, if you feel like you have to deal with big egos, just because, yes, it has no reason for you to have to deal with this. It's not a part of your job tasks to deal with like big egos, you feel me? You're not afraid to leave. I think maybe your coworkers think that you can leave at any second. Like they are kind of afraid that one day you're just not going to be there anymore. They feel like you are very close to leaving at all times because, again, for example, them, they are afraid to leave because they are scared that they will like not be able to find another job or they will take a long time to find another job. You're not scared of that. You live in a way more abundance mentality than them. Like your coworkers live in a lack mentality, like I have to hold on to this job because I won't be able to find another one so easily. Like I have to hold on to this as much as I can, no matter how I'm being treated and no matter how bad it is for me. You are not that. You're like, my mental health is first. There are many jobs out there. I can do many things. I don't need to stay in an environment that is unhealthy for me. So you live with this mentality that is way more, I have more fish in the sea, I have more options. It is okay to quit and look for other opportunities. Like, I don't need to hold on and stay in a place that is unhealthy for me just by fear of not being able to find another job, or fear that things are not going to work out. Like, I think also your coworkers view you as someone that you take a bad situation and turn it into good. This will be the example of you quit a job because it's unhealthy for you, because maybe you have to deal with like big egos and you're like, I don't need to deal with this. Like, bye, this is so unnecessary and so BS. And imagine, are you scared for leaving that job? Yes. Is it scary to look for new jobs, and like, is it hard work? Absolutely. But you take that situation of fear of quitting that, like a job, to look for another one. You take that situation of fear and you are like, everything is a lesson and I know everything is working out for me. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, it's scary. But just because something is scary and just because something is hard does not mean I'm not going to do it. Like, I think you have this perspective of taking the lesson out of difficult circumstances. You are like, yes, sometimes life sucks. Sometimes life is unfair. It's cruel. It doesn't go all your way. But instead of me complaining or like not doing anything about it and stay in one place, even though I know it's not for me. No, I'm gonna take the risk, get out of my outside of my comfort zone, feel fear, and instead of like complaining all the time, of course you complain a little bit because that's normal. Instead of complaining all the time, when you are in a fearful situation of taking a risk, for example, like getting a new job, you're like, this is a lesson. This is teaching me something. This is teaching me resilience. This is showing me that I always have options. This is showing me that I can do anything that I want. Like, this is showing me and teaching me that I'm capable to do more and take more risks than I thought before. I think, yeah, you are someone that takes lessons out of difficult situations, out of unfair situations, and this is it's very wise. People really admire this about you. I think your coworkers like have a mix of admiration and jealousy. They really admire what wisdom, mindset, and depth. They think it's very profound and something that they never seen before, but they're kind of jealous of this. They wish, because they feel like your coworkers feel, yes, your life is not easy, but you are more free than them. You have way more freedom than them. Like, your coworkers feels a bit encaged. They know that your life is not easy. They are not saying that your life is easy, it's not that, but they feel like jealous in a way because you have way more of this freedom, focus, perspective, mentality than them. Oh, your coworkers video file number 2. Yes. You're not afraid to change. You're not afraid to do something different. You're not afraid to transform yourself. Also, your coworkers view you as someone that is not afraid to learn new things or even take new positions or new roles and new tasks at the job. Like, you are not afraid from starting from the beginning. You're not afraid of being a beginner, of learning something new, of trying something new. You are someone that even like your coworkers view you as someone that is always trying to learn something new, like trying to learn like the cooks and crannies of your workplace. You're feeling maybe things are not your responsibility, but you want to know, you want to learn, just for you to know and learn how to do things. You feel me? Like, I think also your coworkers view you as someone that learns more than they quote unquote need to. For example, your task is to do a very specific thing, but maybe you like to learn from other people and see what they are doing and how they do things. And you don't do this. It's not because you want to take their job or anything like this. It's just because you like to learn and you like to know and you like to expand. Right. There is a big expansion energy about you. And yes, like, many options. They really, like, your coworkers view you as someone that has many options because you are someone that is hardworking, intelligent, wise, mature, and not like you have all the mental and physical capacities to start over, but above it all, you have the mindset. You, because a lot of people can start over. Like a lot of people are super intelligent and super good at what they do and super hardworking. A lot of people, theoretically, if we really think about it, they can quit that job and start over, but maybe they are scared, they feel stuck to their job because they're like, oh, what am I going to do? And they are like stuck in the job that is not good for them. And they're like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't know if I need to stay here, even though they are super intelligent, super hardworking, they stay in a toxic job just because they are scared of not being able to find another one or scared to start from the beginning. And you're not scared of that. This is how your coworkers view you. You're not scared of not knowing. You're not scared of learning everything from the bottom up, like of having no idea what you're doing and learning again. You are not scared of that. And this is really, yeah, is admiration and jealousy at the same time. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you like this content, subscribe. I do have personal readings, they are super affordable, and they have my first link in the description. Bye, pal too. Hello, pal free. So I chose this card that says your obstacles have the weight you put on them. How your coworkers view you is of someone that you choose your battles. You're not going to worry or make a scene about everything. You are going to put your effort and energy in the things that really need it. You're not going to make everything a big deal. You're going to make the right things a big deal. I really love this spell free because I'm really getting here your coworkers. For imagine a coworker comes to your workplace, they are new, they don't know how to do things, and you're teaching them, you're kind of mentoring them, guiding them on how to do things, and they make a mistake. They're expecting for you to kind of be mad at them for making a mistake, but you are not at all. Like, you are someone that is not, for example, mad about people making mistakes or making something wrong, or even like making something wrong to the point that the customer complains or everything about it. You are not someone that puts a lot of weight on those things. Like, you put a lot of weight in things that you feel like really matter, like company policy or like a whole system that is already like defined, or like a system error, like something that is not working out, and you're like, I need to fix this immediately because this is affecting a lot of people, not just me. But for example, you will not be someone that will make a mistake feel like the end of the world. No, like you actually bring a lot of this mentality of, yeah, it's okay, make mistakes. Yes, the customer didn't like it. It is what it is, it's not the end of the world. It's fine. But for example, if there are other things, I feel like, for example, if there is a system error or there is an error like in technology and it's affecting like a wider scale, that you care about. You care about in fixing that ASAP, and you put weight on that. I think, yeah, how your coworkers view you is that you choose your battles, and I think your coworkers, I think they really like you for this because they really feel safe with you and they feel almost protected. You give this protection energy, like they feel like they will not be judged for making a mistake. They feel like they'll not be screamed at for failing, and they feel like if something really needs your attention and if something is really urgent, you are super good at putting all your energy into taking care of it. I think, yeah, you take things seriously, the things that like really matter in your eyes, but you're not going to scream someone or treat someone badly just because they made a mistake. Like, you are super kind of seeing the strength card in my mind. You are someone that is super strong, super like a figure of authority and power, but you are not mean. This is super sweet, but I'll never feel like people really feel like you're super sweet. You can you become that figure of power, of authority for things that you really need, that really need to be done and fixed ASAP, but you're never going to show that side of yourself in like minimal things, of things that they really like don't matter, of things that are just human. That's the thing. Oh my god, yes. I think your coworkers view you as someone that humanizes them. You feel me? Because I feel like sometimes a lot of workplaces they expect their workers to be machines, to be perfect, to be robots. When we are not, we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna fail, and that's normal. That's a part of the human existence, right? And you know this. I think you bring a lot of human to people. Maybe you're even someone that cares about mental health in the sense that some of you, not all, might be in the positions of power here, or maybe a manager. And imagine if a core, like if you have like an employee that is going through a hard time, you value that, and you're like, hey, you're struggling in terms of your mental health, maybe with anxiety or depression or burnout. Take some days off. Like take a rest. Like you are someone that values, like for example, mental health is not valued in a lot of workplaces. You feel me? Like you can full on be burned out, depressed, anxious, really struggling mentally, and you still have to work. Because it's a part of this, you're not human in a lot of workplaces. They don't expect you to be human. They expect you to be a robot or a machine or perfection, when in reality you are not. And you really bring this humanity to people. I think, yeah, you have this very interesting view that I don't think you quite realize, but you expect humans to be humans and you expect machines to be machines. In the sense that you're gonna, like with coworkers, employees, you're gonna expect them to fail. You're gonna expect them to have bad days. You're expecting them to, yes, like just be human. So you don't put that much weight when something goes wrong, when they make mistakes, when they fail, even if this affects like a client or a customer. But for example, when a machine, when a system is down, when the technology is out, that you expect to be fixed. You feel me? I think, yeah, you are super wise in the sense that, okay, you expect technology to perform in a certain way, and you're gonna put that pressure and make sure that the issue is fixed right away. But you're not going to put that pressure on humans. You are super like understanding, empathetic, and like if you struggle, take a day off. Mental health is important. It's okay to fail. It's okay to like to cry. It's okay to not have the best days. It's okay. You don't need to come here and become a robot. You feel me? You are not a robot. You're not a machine. You are human. This is really beautiful, Panamafi. I think your coworkers really like you and they feel really safe with you because they feel like they can be human and they don't need to be like hyper aware of every move that they make to make sure that they don't fail or make any mistakes because they feel really safe with you. You are really, really appreciated in your workplace. Point number three. How do your coworkers view you? Point number three. Yeah, like mistakes happen. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You don't make other people's mistakes a big deal. Maybe they're even expecting that you make it a big deal, but you don't. Like, if someone makes a failure, if someone makes a mistake, you're okay. Yeah, it happens. We are not perfect, you're trying your best. It's okay. I know you didn't intended to do this. Yeah, like it's normal to make mistakes. It's normal to fail. Again, we are not machines. We are not technology. We are not robots, right? I think your coworkers view you as someone that takes failure and all of that very well, like almost you don't care. Also, there is something here about performance. Imagine performance some days, like in terms of like team performance and all the numbers and all the data and all of that. Some months we are good, other months we are not as good, and that's a part of life. We cannot always be on top. I'm seeing, I studied business in my bachelor's, and I'm seeing I think what was it called? It was like a graph about the life cycle of a company. And basically, you start at the bottom and you slowly go up, and you have a peak, and you stay in that peak for a while, but then after the peak, it goes down. And this is life. You cannot stay at the top all the time. And it's actually kind of. damaging to, for example, always trying to achieve for the top, because just that's not natural. You like everything that goes up must come down. Like it is normal to have webs and flow. It is normal that some months we don't perform as well, but other months we perform better. But like trying to always achieve the best performance and always trying to be on top, it can be quite damaging for a company life cycle, because again, a company life cycle is like everything is life is a cycle, right? Like when you go up you must go down, and that's just a part of life. Like I think you have this super wise understanding that sometimes, hey, it's even good to fail, you feel me? Sometimes it's good to not have great months, because it means that we are more in tune with the natural cycle of things, you feel me? And I think even sometimes is more long lasting in terms, or unsustainable in terms of a company to not always be on top, because of the life cycle of a company. Because if you really reach the peak of the company and like you perform during like a certain period of time super great, like you will go down. And when you go down, you're not like you're not used to going down, you feel me? I think sometimes it is even more intelligent and more sustainable and more long lasting to have a balance between good months and bad months, because in the bad months you learn techniques and how to be in the bad months and how to sustain the bad months in sense of like productivity and performance. You learn techniques, maybe you learn to save money, maybe you are become wiser on how to basically endure difficult months that maybe you're not selling as much or you're not performing as well, but you learn like techniques, you learn endurance, you learn what to do. And those techniques you can use in your I months, in your like high performance months where you make more sales. And you can use those techniques like also in the I months. So you kind of you use the I months to safeguard the low months. This is what I'm getting, because that's way wiser and way more sustainable and way more long lasting than just achieving to be high and to be high all the time, because what goes up must comes down. You cannot always be in the top, and always wanting to be in the on in like in the top is a counterproductive. It's damaging. You like for actually a company to even be more long lasting and more sustainable, it needs to embrace the low periods. Embrace the low periods, learn how to manage the low periods, learn how to pivot, how to change. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. That's and I honestly I haven't thought about this before. I'm just like thinking about this now. It really came to me. I think this is very wise think about. You embrace low and high months like a cycle and like nature, and you're not, for example, shaming your employees or controlling them or being an asshole to them. Like in the low months you're like, hey, it happens, it's normal, it's a part of life, it's a part of cycle of life. So this month was not as great, but the next month probably will be better, let's see. And this is really wise. This is also really smart. This is what I'm getting. Like you are doing right. Wow, pile free. You are super admirable and super deep. Yes. Also, your coworkers view you as someone that balances many different things. I think a good majority of this pile are like a manager or a team leader or a shift leader, someone that has like responsibility. If not that, you I don't know if you kind of a bit of a figure of authority in the company. Like when people come no, you teach them because you are like the nice person that teaches people. You feel me? You mentor them because again, you are the nice person that mentors people. Like they see you as a multitasker that can juggle many things at once. And imagine you juggle many things at once without breaking emotionally or mentally, because there are a lot of people that succumb under pressure and like lash out. Like there are a lot of people that are stressed in their personal life, or a lot of like things happen in their personal life, and they come to work and they lash out and project other people and basically project their stress like onto other people. You don't do that. You are not a projection. You feel me? You don't project as much as most people do. Of course, we're not perfect. We always going to project a little bit, but you barely project. You feel me? You barely treat other. For example, if you're having a bad day, it will be very difficult for you to treat someone badly just because you are having a bad day. Like you have high emotionally maturity. You have high like emotionally balance. You know that, hey, like you have your issues, you have your problems, but other people don't deserve to suffer because of your issues and problems. You feel me? And you are really like balanced in the sense you are very balanced. I think your coworkers view you as someone that deals with a lot of different responsibilities, with a lot of weight in your shoulders, with a lot of multitasking, and you deal it in a very wise, kind manner without projecting or without treating other people badly just because you are going for a hard day. People love you, point number three. And I think also you are a big reason why people stay in your workplace because they feel that they'll never find someone like you. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with this message. If you like this reading, you will like, and if you like this content, subscribe. I do have personal readings, they're super affordable, and they're my first link in description. Bye, pal free.